chrysanthemum. I hope I pronounced that. I'll write it on the screen. Chrysanthemum is a kind of flower. Please don't buy it for a child. Hi everyone! You're welcome back to AJOKE'S vlog. My name is AJOKE. How are you guys? Hope you guys are fine. I'm fine. I'm good. Thank you so much. Okay, today I'm back. I'm back. I'm back. Okay, I'm back with talk about China, and today we'll be using one stone, which is one vlog, to kill two birds, to discuss two topics that you should know about China. Okay, before we start, hello new viewer, I welcome you to AJOKE'S vlog. Can you do me a favor? Let's just count 1, 2, 3. That red subscribe button, just click on it. Pew! Subscribe! Very good. You're welcome to the family. And if you are yet to decide if you want to subscribe, okay, let's just continue this ride till the end of the vlog. Okay, like I said, we are going to use one vlog to discuss two topics, and the topics will be about China. What you need to know about Chinese people to make your stay in China enjoyable. Like, you don't want to create problems for yourself, you don't want to make enemies for yourself, you don't want to let people see your good intentions in a bad way. So I had the same problem, and I made some research, asked the right questions, got the answers. So I'm here, guys, to share with you. Number 1, gifts you should not give to Chinese people. Like, it's a taboo. There are gifts you don't give to Chinese people. I know some of us are white, some of us are black, Caucasians, and all of that, and we have this tradition of giving gifts. You know, some of us, from where I come from in Nigeria, you just buy gifts. We buy almost anything as gifts to give in Nigeria. So if I'm Nigerian like me is coming to China and try to show benevolence or love and buy some gifts and give to a Chinese person, the person would rather see you as an enemy. Not because Chinese people do not like gifts, but there are some things you don't buy for a Chinese. Number 1, don't ever, never, ever buy a Chinese a wristwatch or a wall clock. I know. See, in Africa where I came from, some people will get married and then some people will buy them wall clock, like nice design wall clock, as a wedding gift. But if you're coming to China or you have Chinese people around you as friends, even if you go to their apartments and you realize that they do not have a wall clock, or maybe their wall clock is getting old or out of fashion, and you think you should help them by buying a better one or just buying one for them, or a wristwatch, please don't buy a Chinese a wristwatch or a wall clock, because this is what the gift is trying to say to the person you're giving it to. Like, my day, I'm buying you this watch or this wall clock because I want to remind you that your time on earth is coming to an end. Like, time is going for you on earth, time is running, you don't have enough time on earth. Like, you're telling the person is going to die very soon, and when you tell someone you wish him or her death, do you expect the person to be your friend or to remain your friend. Number 2, don't buy a Chinese an umbrella. Don't buy a Chinese an umbrella, because it means you're wishing them to be irrelevant, to be unpopular, or for their lives or their career to get scattered. Like an umbrella passes a message. It's better if they buy it for themselves, but don't buy for them, because it means you're wishing this person that their life would not be meaningful. So guys, don't be tempted. Don't be tempted to buy a wall clock, a wristwatch, or an umbrella. Number 3, don't buy a Chinese a hat, like a hat for the head. Don't buy a Chinese a hat, especially don't buy them green hats. There is a reason why I'm saying especially green hats. There is a ancient Chinese folklore that says there was a married woman that was cheating on her husband, and in return the man had to buy a green hat to show that she has been unfaithful. So when you buy a Chinese a green hat, you are either saying that the person's spouse is cheating on him or her, number 1. Or it might also means you want the person to cheat on his or her spouse with you. If I buy a Chinese man a green hat, it means either his wife is cheating or I want us to have an affair that would make him cheat on his wife. So don't buy a green hat. And then the reason why I said you should not buy a hat for a Chinese person also is because Chinese normally don't put on hats. Usually it's rare for you to see a Chinese that would put on a hat. So they believe that when an older person dies, his sons will have to put on a hat to mourn his passing. So it's just like your wish. When you give them a hat, maybe you're trying to wish them that maybe their parents will die and they would have a need to mourn and use their hat. So number 4, don't ever never buy a Chinese apples when they are sick. Like I remember this really happened to me personally when I first came to China 2018. I think it was early 2019. I made some friends on my former campus, and one day one of them got ill and they informed me like, we're going to go see her together. So this is me. I went grocery shopping for myself, so I bought some apples for me, and I was like, oh, Nigerian will buy apple. It's for people when they are sick, we just buy fruit. So I bought her apples, and you can't believe she rejected it. 2, they sent me out, and I tried talking to them. I realized they all blocked me, and I had to ask the teacher what happened, and the teacher told me that it's a bad omen. You are wishing the person that the person would not get well. Like, you're trying to say, oh, I bought you fruit so that you can eat and you can get your strength back and you can get well soon. But then what the person is seeing or it means is that, oh, take these apples, I'm wishing you bad luck, I don't want you to get well soon. So some of these things are deep rooted in the Chinese culture that can make your good intention look bad. Now, there is a kind of flower, like Chinese people loves bouquet and all that, flowers, you package this, they are a kind of romantic lot. but there is a kind of flower called chrysanthemum. I hope I pronounced that. I'll write it on the screen. Chrysanthemum is a kind of flower. Please don't buy it for Chinese. I'll include a picture so that you can know what a chrysanthemum flower is. It is a flower, basically just the only thing they use it for in China is burial. The only thing that's the only thing they use it for in China, burial. They place it for burial purposes, memorial service of a person who has passed on to glory. So please be careful. Even when you want to buy a flower, please do not buy a chrysanthemum flower for a Chinese. Another thing you should not buy for a Chinese, except the person is very, 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 very intimate with you, and you probably you're dating, the person is just so intimate with you. Don't buy shoes for a Chinese. Don't buy shoes for a Chinese. If you really want to buy that, you probably have to give them the money. But don't buy shoes for a Chinese, because they feel a shoe, you walk around with shoes, you go around with shoes, good places, bad places, and all that. And you're trying to say that you want them to be useless like shoes. You want them to be useless like shoes. So do not buy shoes for Chinese. Do not buy shoes for Chinese. So I go again before we move to the second part of this vlog. You don't buy a wall clock or a wristwatch. You don't buy a hat or a green hat. You don't buy apples when someone is sick. You don't buy umbrellas. You don't buy shoes, and you don't buy chrysanthemum flowers. I hope you do remember this, because when people say that there is racism, yes, there are some things that is racist in what they do. But another thing is when you are passing a wrong message and you are expecting a right response. No. So you should understand that there is a difference in Chinese culture. So this is just to help you understand the culture, so that you do not pass the wrong message and you think maybe they are trying to avoid you or they are trying to be racist. It is just an interpretation of what the gift means to them that is making them act up if they do. Okay, part 2. Okay guys, part 2. Now this is what you should do to stay out of trouble in China. Like, if you're really, really coming to China, you should know this, that you definitely have to stay out of trouble, because the law here is not for the feeble-minded. So far you do not break laws in China, you do not have problem. Like, you don't have any problem. You're just free, just go on your own, attend to your businesses, go to your class, get your daily bread, come back and enjoy your life. It's really, really enjoyable here. But please, you might unconsciously do any of these things and you don't know they are wrong, and then it end up putting you in trouble, which might lead to deportation or imprisonment, or you get heavily fined. And deportation, imprisonments, a heavy fine, the three are not okay, palatable to any foreigner in China. So number one thing you should not do as a foreigner in China. China is a communist country. Everybody knows that. Please do not, for any reason, talk to a Chinese or talk in public against the Chinese government. Do not ever, because even the Chinese people can't talk against, they can speak against the government. So you don't try to start a conversation with a Chinese person about their government. You don't try to make them see that their government is bad or anything. No, they are really very patriotic set of people, and they might inform the police and get you arrested for speaking against the government. You don't have to discuss politics with the Chinese. You don't have to speak against their government. Like, that is one of the major rules. I remember when I first came to China, for every school you get to, they make you sign an undertaking, and this number one point of not talking about politics or not talking about against the government is the number one thing in the rules and regulation and the agreement we had to sign. And then you meet some Chinese, like some of them are even speaking out of good intention. They try to engage you in topics that would lead on tilt towards politics. Please, one is getting to politics, just tell them, oh, I'm a foreigner, I don't have an idea of the this thing. You don't try to make them compare, oh, your government is this. Don't ever do that. Number two, keep your religion's opinion to yourself. I said that in my former blog about church and all that. It's not even just for Christians. Anybody, so far you have religious views, please keep it to yourself. This is not your country where you can go about with evangelism and all that. No, don't ever try to discuss religion or try to convince a Chinese person that his or her religious belief is wrong. That might put you into deep issues. So number three, don't join anybody. I mean anybody. Don't join them to say you want to protest. Though there is no protest in China. Even if Chinese people wants to protest, there is a way they do it. There are channels by which they do it. There are authorities they have to pass through their grievances to. So I don't know what would happen now or in the future. Please don't ever join anybody to say you want to protest against anything. If you have any issues, you have teachers that you have good relationship with, calmly explain your grievances to the authorities, like your teacher. Please don't ever try to say you want to protest. Okay, there's a way you can calmly explain yourself to whoever is in charge that can help you, because once you protest in China, I can't guarantee your freedom or your stay here. So another thing you should try not to do is don't try to tip anybody. Don't try to tip anybody, because I've never seen Chinese tip. Maybe you go to a restaurant or there is a problem going on, or tip and all that. They might do that. I don't know if they do. They might. I don't know. But you as a foreigner, don't try to tip anybody, because they will probably think you're trying to bring the vices in your country to them, and you're trying to sow or tarnish the Chinese heritage. Don't ever try to tip anybody. Don't try to tip anybody. The only thing you can do is say a big thank you, and you send a text, and it also means thank you. If anybody needs anything from you, let them ask. Don't try to give anything to anybody. So another thing you should not try to do is don't get into an heated argument in public, especially with the Chinese. don't get into an argument or even a fight in public, especially with the Chinese. For people that drinks, for people that parties, for people that clubs, please don't ever get drunk to the point of fighting with a Chinese, because basically it will end up being you against them. And most of the times they end up winning and you end up losing. And in case of any injury or losses or damages, you have to bear the charges and you have to pay up. So please don't ever get into a fight with a Chinese. In the rarest thing, you just have to probably walk away or try to get a policeman to complain to and all that. But please don't ever get into a fight with a Chinese. Don't ever, because by the time you're trying to argue with Chinese people, there are CCTV everywhere. People will bring out their cameras, someone would inform the police, and at the end of the day, you just discover that you've started a big whole lot of mess than what you can clean up after yourself. Another thing for your own safety, as I'm gonna say this from the male part and the female part, for your own safety, please do not try to date a child. If you're a man, if you're a guy, do not try to date a married Chinese woman. It's very, very risky, because once the husband knows, I don't know what they can do, but then there are rumors of husbands going after whoever they think their wives are having an affair with. And same goes for the women too, or for the ladies. Don't try to date a Chinese man that is in a relationship or that is engaged, not even for anything, because your safety comes first. Now, another thing you should not do, if you know that you have this habit of picking, of trying to steal, don't even ever think of trying to steal from anybody. Even not even from the supermarket or from anybody, even in your dormitory, in your apartment area. Don't try to steal from anybody. Don't try to steal from anybody. And if anybody's trying to like come at you and all that, and you know that you might not be able to have evidence, please bring out your phone and start recording, because in case the police come, you can have something to show them. But then I advise you, as much as possible, don't try to get into an argument with a Chinese. Don't ever try to get into an argument with a Chinese. Okay, guys, I believe I've solved 2 different problems just in one vlog. So guys, please do subscribe, please do like, and please share this vlog and any of my Learn With Me Mandarin vlog, any of my vlogs that you feel you have people that need to see, please do share with them. I would really want this vlog out there for people to know what they need to know about China before coming to China, to make their stay a very, very pleasurable one. And if you have any questions to ask me about China, about the Chinese culture, about anything relocation to China, anything that has to do with China, please do drop it in the comment section, or my mail is attached to my YouTube channel. You can send me a mail, and also in the description box my Instagram page is there also, so you can also send me a DM on Instagram to drop your questions, and I'll be willing and more glad to answer them appropriately for you. So guys, I do love every one of you, so please let's keep the subscription going. I need you to help us, not just me, us build this YouTube